I'm not looking at comments, obviously, so because I don't have my phone going at the same time, because I don't assume anybody will really be watching live. But the idea for this came from a recent acquaintance, and they just wanted me to show them how to use Divi. So I'm running this locally, so ignore the fact that my security certificate isn't valid and stuff like that. It's just a quick um, way of showing you how to use Divi. So first of all, I have to clarify, there is a Divi plugin that you can use on sites that have other themes installed. I do not recommend this at all because there may be incompatibility issues. So we are going to use the Divi theme per se. And yes, I am a Divi user. I do have a valid license. So everything you'll see here is on the up and up. So let's begin with the fact that Divi is a theme and not a plugin. So I'll just go appearance, themes, right? And then I'll just hit add, upload theme, choose a file. I downloaded this a while ago, so I'm installing it now. Just waiting for it to pick it up. I don't need to live preview. I already know how this works. I just click activate and we're basically good to go, right? Obviously, if you go to the website right now, you'll see that it will bring up your recent posts, I assume, unless local has changed something recently. Yep. So this is basic WordPress, got nothing to do with Divi, to be honest, but let me show you what you should be doing. So pages, I'll just go into pages. This is general for when you develop a website. So I'm leaving the privacy policy alone. The sample page, I'm going to edit for a bit. I'm just going to call it home, which will be my home page. I'm going to delete the slug so it regenerates itself. Oh, I clicked cancel. All that. Home. I'm just going to click update right here. As you can see, the page is now named home. And when I click to view it, it's actually the sample page. Or I'm going to delete all the data right off of it. So when I do edit page, you're going to see the normal Gutenberg editor, which, okay, it's WordPress' new attempt on how I'm trying to, I guess, catch up with page builders. So I'm just going to update it so it's empty. And then obviously I'm going to go back to WordPress and I'm going to just go to my settings, check that my permalinks are set properly so that my page can actually work when I click on the link on the main menu or whatever. You're basically also seeing some of my processes. I'll just save here, 1, 2, and then just for the fun of it, I'll create a menu because I have to set a menu in Divi. Because I'm going to show you how to set menus in Divi as well, and explain sort of where the menus are. So I'm going to call this main menu. I'm not going to make any other ones, but I will show you the rest of the positions. I'm going to call this primary menu. I'm going to click save. I'm going to stick my home page right on here. If you use WordPress at all, you already know what I'm doing here. But yeah. So now I'm on the live site and it's still showing the wrong page and it also says hello world. And the reason is it's very logical why it's doing it. You can click theme customizer right here. You need to set the actual homepage and you just do that by saying general settings, site. Oh, this is where you set your site identity and your stuff. You don't really need this right now in your favicon stuff. There should be one called homepage settings. There it is. And you can set your homepage to this so that it doesn't keep showing the recent posts. Ignore the sidebar. You can see it's because I haven't switched to the Divi Builder yet. So it's doing like the normal WordPress sidebar little thing. I don't really care about that right now. So now I can start with Divi and how it actually works. You click Enable Visual Builder. If your WordPress is installed in another language, it might say that in another language here, but the basic premise is the same. You wait for it to load. Then you'll see the founder of Divi trying to show you a tutorial, which you could take the tour if you didn't know how to do this, but because I'm showing you anyway, you don't really need to, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to hit start building. I'm going to wait for a second because it's going to reload itself. Something that annoys me about Divi that needs to reload twice. I've discussed this with him before. They haven't fixed it yet. It's quite annoying to be honest, but anyway. This is the screen you come up with. So you can decide to either start and build from scratch by yourself. You can choose to duplicate a page that's already built in Divi. So it loads it up here and then you make some changes, or you can browse the layouts. The layouts will come up if you've entered your license key. Because even though they do come up now, when I try and use this layout, it's going to tell me to log in because I haven't added my license key to this installation. And I really don't want to use a layout right now. So let me show you a few things about the Divi Builder. As you can see, it's got this nice little purple bar on the bottom. And if you click it, you can see a few options. This is basically the settings for the, this with the three dots is basically the settings for the builder. This little icon is called the, what is it called again? The wireframe mode. I'll tell you what zoom out and zoom in is, and obviously you can deduce what that is. But anyway, this is the desktop view, the mobile view, and here you can define which mobile you're looking at. It's got a few phones in here. You can decide like a Galaxy 7. It will set the screen to look like a Galaxy 7. You can figure things out. And this is obviously tablet mode, and again you can decide whatever tablet you wish you want. But for now, let's just stick with desktop mode, and I'll show you what's up. So if I go to this mode here, you can actually see there's a section here, blue, row, which is sort of greenish, and then the modules, if I add a text module, you'll see it's quite simple. It will add the text module for you, and it's black. So let me do that as if I was building live. So let's delete that section. Now it automatically always creates at least one section, and it's waiting for you to add the row. Remember, sections are blue, rows are green, and modules are black. But let's say the first thing you want to do is create a full width header with a background and buttons, the usual thing you see on the site. So you can click on the blue to create a new add a new section. There's a regular section, which is the one I'm using now. There's a specialty section. I'll show you what that is in a second. And then there's the one I need for now is the full width section. So now when you click the full width section, I'm going to delete actually the blue section because that's a normal section and I don't want it right now. So the full width section already gives you a section that's full width. Now you just have to think about what you're designing. So when you put in a full width section, some specific modules are available and others are not. These specific modules are available because they're full width related modules. So the header with the buttons called a full width header, right? So what you get is a ready-made sort of section, if I can call it that. Hope my computer didn't just, oh no, it's fine. So this, if I click this cog, I'll be editing the settings for the section. So I can change the background color for the whole section. But look, there's no background color, but we can see a bluish one, right? That's because the background color isn't set on the section, but it's actually part of the module here, which is our little header module. So for example, you can now go down and then you can change the background color to, I don't know, this, for example. Now let's just say that I'm interested in saying hello Divi, for example. As you can see, it's put in some random text for you, just so you can fiddle around with it. I'm not going to specifically fiddle with it right now. And this is actually a WYSIWYG editor. The reason you can't see it right now is probably because I'm working with local and I didn't enable the SSL certificate, but that's fine. I'm not going to change anything anyway. What I am going to do is I can show you that there are design options for this header where I can center stuff so it looks like this. Now, that sort of helps. Okay, where do I set the link for this button? The good thing is when you're on something and you want to change, for example, the font, it actually is telling you what you're changing. So if I click this pencil, it's taking me to the design settings for this button. Then I can say, okay, put in custom design and I want the button to be red, whatever reason that may be. Let's say that the background should be, I don't know, black because I can. It doesn't make sense, but you get the point. I might want to put a black border instead of a red one, obviously. And I don't know, maybe I want to change the letters to always be capital. And when you hover, you can see there's an icon that comes up. You can decide whether or not to show this icon on hover or not at all. So I've decided not to show it, but if I were to show the icon, then I could click yes. I just can't find where I've stuffed it now. Oh, there it is. And then I can choose from a set of icons, which you can also search. So let's say I'm looking for a location icon. These are like font awesome icons, so it's nothing weird. So let's say I want this location icon for some reason, I don't know. And when I hover, I need it to be show button one icon, and I want you to show it whenever I'm there, not only on hover. And I guess I could change the title text font or something. I'll tell you what this default font is, and I'll also show you how to generally change a font. So let's assume you have a design in mind and you've already decided what your font is going to be for all your titles. You can just say, I want this font, right? But I want it to apply to all my header module now. So I can say, okay, apply style to active preset, and it's going to change all the headers to this font. You can't see it now because I don't have multiple ones, but I'm hoping that you sort of get the idea. Now, what if I wanted more modules? Because the full width modules, that there should be more modules. I should be able to add a slider. I don't know what else. A slider actually exists. Let's think of something else that doesn't exist. I guess I want, what else do I want? A simple text module, or I don't know, something. Yeah, that I might not want the next thing to be full width. Now, the appropriate way to do this is just to say, okay, add a new section, add a regular section, and then start adding rows. Now, your rows on a regular section, the possibilities you have are the following, as you can see. So for now, let's just say, okay, I want this. Now you can see I've got accordions, I've got blurbs, I've got CTAs, circle counters and stuff. So I've put in a circle counter. If you look very carefully, you can see that this isn't full width. Now, let's assume for some insane reason that I wanted this to be full width, but this counter doesn't exist in the, the full width kind of section. So there is a magic trick to this. You click on the settings for this row, you go to design, you go to sizing, then you say 100% for this and 100% for this. There used to be a setting in Divi. You didn't have to set these, but they changed it after version 3.2.1. So now that's how we do full width. I'm not going to go through all the modules because that's beside the point, right? But you can keep adding modules based on whatever you want to create. So the one thing I do want to show you is, let me just use I don't know, let me just use another section here. And by the way, you can, for example, switch from section layouts. So for example, instead of 1, I now want 3, for example, right? And I'm just going to say, okay, this one has 50 in it. I'm going to then add a text module, and it's giving you a text module with some pre-filled out text. And then I'm going to add an image module, right? Okay, so it gives you like a dummy placeholder image, and you could probably upload an image if you had one. Let me see, do I have any images on my computer that are useful here? I probably have some mountains of Cyprus somewhere in my pictures folder. Something random I used for a client once upon a time. Let's see. Yeah, got the mountain there. So, okay, let's assume for 1 second that this is correct for the desktop, and I want to check if I like the way it looks on the mobile. So let's assume that this is in the wrong order because I wanted the mountain to be above the text, for example, right? Unfortunately, Divi doesn't support Flex yet, as far as I know. I haven't heard anything about it, but I do want to change the order either way. There's a few tricks you can do. The usual thing I would do is I would actually say that, okay, this row is correct, but it's correct only for desktop. For mobile and for tablet, it isn't the way I want it to be because of the order of the elements, if that makes sense. Because that's how I want it on desktop, but I need the image before the text on mobile. So easiest thing I can do is I can say, okay, let's duplicate the section. There's a duplicate button right here. It's duplicated for me. And then on the top part, by the way, another thing I usually do is I name my section. So I say, okay, whatever, right? I'm just going to call it something stupid right now. Pick section, desktop. And then I'm going to name the other one, if I can find the section, section mobile. So far, I haven't changed anything, right? But if you look at the back here in the wireframe mode, you can see that these are named differently, and you can collapse them actually like this, so you can tell what's going on. Now, what I am going to do, I'm going to do it in the front end so you can see what I'm doing. I can go to the first section and say, okay, this section, right? The blue bit is the section. I don't want the row to be only the row. I need the whole thing. So in case I add something else, I know that whatever I add after this is again going to show only for the desktop, but not for the mobile, for example, right? So I will go and I'll click on this little cog here. I'll go to advanced, right? I will click visibility and I will say, okay, this needs to be disabled on phone and tablet, right? But it should stay enabled on desktop because this is the desktop version. Now on the bottom one, that's for the mobile, it should actually be disabled only for desktop. So it remains visible only to the mobile and to the tablet. As you can see, it sort of made it look like it's a bit opaque, like there's the colors gone. And that's just to show you that this section won't be visible on the current screen that you're on. But if you switch to mobile, then this bit is not visible, which means that's the desktop bit, and this is the mobile bit. So now I want to change the image and the text, right? Position. So I've changed them. And if you look carefully now, I haven't changed the top part. I've changed the 50%. So there's image, text, and let's say that I want the percentage on the bottom, because why not, right? So I've put image, text, and then the percentage thing, whatever you want to call it, the circle counter thing. So that's how it'll look on mobile. That's also how it'll look actually on tablet. I haven't centered the image or anything. I should probably center it on mobile. So design, alignment, center image, done. But now on desktop, you'll notice that nothing has changed. So when I'm in desktop mode, when I exit, you'll see that only I'm going to save and exit. I clicked exit visual builder, told me that I had forgotten to save, and it's now forcing me to save, right? So as you can see on the desktop, you can see what I've built, and that's about it. And then you can switch to mobile using DevTools if you know what that is. And you can see it's very different because I put the image, the text, and then the counter next to it. That's one example of how great Divi is. I'm just going to do a little something to get you guys in the mood to use the Divi Builder. I don't think you should go over the top with what I'm going to show you, but I just want to show it to you because it's possible, it's doable, if that makes sense. So I'm going to create a new section that's visible on all devices. I am going to add a row. Let me add a 3x3 row, right? Let me add. Do I have anything cool to add here? Let me add. What did I add? Yeah, let me add image modules, right? Let me add image modules for fun. So I'm just going to duplicate this one, and then I'm going to drag them over because I need 3 different images based on the column I'm in. So let me do something crazy. So you can click on the settings for this specific image. You can go to design. There's a nice little transform section where you can do rotation visually. So, probably touched the wrong thing there. You can always reset when you make mistakes, but it will reset your settings for you. So I don't know what I want to do with this. Let's not do that. Let's do something else. Let's reset that. Reset transform rotate. Let's do this. I would have to actually put an image in so you can see. Come to think of it, let me put an image in. Let me just grab the image that I used here. And then I'm just going to steal it. I'm just going to steal this. And I'm just going to add it here. I'm going to remove it from here. I'm going to duplicate it another 2 times. Remove. So you can see what I'm doing. I need an actual image because the placeholder doesn't actually show anything. So for the top one, I can just say, okay, design. For the first one, design, transform, and for example, rotate. I guess I could just do this. I don't know why I would want to rotate my image, but okay. So you know what? I could do another thing. So let's do something else. Let's leave rotate alone here. And let's say that I want something to happen on hover. So I want to rotate the image when I hover over it. So I can click on this here. So when you click this will open up a setting for normal and for hover. It looks like a desktop, but it actually means normal. Okay. And it will apply to the mobile unless you click this and you create mobile settings specifically. So let's say that on normal view it's fine, and then on hover for some reason I want it to be upside down. I don't see the reason for that, but I'm hoping you get my point. What I'm trying to show you is like things you can do with Divi. I'm not as good at demoing as the people that actually created Divi, but I use Divi a lot, so I should be close enough. Yeah. So now when I close it, right, this is normal. Okay, I'm just gonna have to exit to normal view so that it can show you the effect I'm hoping that I just did. Let's see if it actually does. Yeah, you see, when I hover, it tries to flip it over, which is a bit stupid, but you get the point. You can do loads of stuff with it. There's not only rotate, there's a million things. There's also delays that you can set and stuff like that, but I'm not going to go through all of the settings, obviously. The other cool thing I'd want to show you is that you can do positioning as well. Again, it depends on what you want to achieve, but what I'm trying to say is you can relatively place things. So let's, for example, add another section just so we have space to play around with. Let's just add something like this. Let's add a contact form because why not, right? And then for this one, let's say I, for some reason, need it to be lower than the other ones. I can go to advanced. I can go to position. I can say, okay, I don't want the default position. I need the relative position. And then I can say, okay, I want it lower than the other ones. So I'm assuming that I want to change maybe, oh, wrong idea. I hit the wrong button that I wanted. I can do it by dragging or by typing a number. But let's say I wanted this to be, I don't know, for some reason here. What I'm saying is most of the stuff would need CSS, but you can do it without. And just to give you guys an idea, on you have, hopefully my mic still works, right? Yeah. So on every option in Divi, you have this little icon when you hover over it. So when you see this icon, it means if you click it, you can give different settings to desktop, tablet, and mobile. When you click the one next to it, which is this one, it will give you options for hovering effects if you need them. Okay. So remember that if you need to set a text, like for this text, right? Let's say, I don't know, we want to be cool, right? So we're doing, there we are. The text editor is here now. Anyway, but let's say that the font size for this text here, which is not a heading text, it's actual normal text. Let's say that I make it, instead of 14, I make it 60 for some insane reason, right? That doesn't look right, but you get the point. I did some line height and some stuff here, but obviously on mobile, that's going to look disgusting. So essentially what you would need to do is like what we would need to do here. I didn't actually copy it over, but anyway, let me copy it over to the mobile section. Let me copy it over to the mobile section. What I'm saying is you could, let me just go back. So you could say that, okay, on the desktop, it's going to be like 60 or whatever I've set, right? But on the mobile, my text, I would like it to be, I don't know, instead of 60 on the mobile on the tablet, you're going to notice it's going to take up 60, but I want it to be 30 on the mobile, for example, and 40 on the tablet, if that makes sense. I don't know what that could be, but what I'm saying is that's how you would differentiate between devices. A specific setting, not a font necessarily, but yeah. Yeah, it's a really crude tutorial of how Divi works. I guess the other thing I should show you is the inside the theme customizer. You can set up how buttons are going to look so that every time you add a button, you can have your style ready to go, so you don't have to reset the set the styles again. Or for example, let's say that you want to fiddle with typography. So I go to General Settings, Typography, and I can set the fonts. Default font is actually Open Sans for Divi, but you can set any other Google font you want as your default, and it will change all your modules to that font. Okay, so basically that's how you would set like a global font for everything. And there is also global colors, and I'll show you how to fiddle with those, I guess, as well. So for example, I'm gonna say that this color that I've set here is actually a global color, and any button I set this to should have that color. So let's see if I can get that done. Enable Visual Builder, because I'm not inside the Visual Builder right now. Okay. So let's go to this. I can't no, I can actually. So let's just say, okay, design. I went to the button. The color is already set. I just want to use it as a global color. I can just left click or right click, sorry, and say, okay, convert this to global. And it will know that this is a global color now, right? And as such, when I come and change anything on the website that has this color, and I come and I change the global color to green, all of the buttons on the website with this color will be green. Is there anything else I think I should show you for Divi? The greatest thing about it, which is quite recent actually, Divi didn't have this when we started using Divi years ago. So let's go to something called the Theme Builder. To people that are used to other builders like Elementor and stuff, it has a theme builder where you can create your header, your footer, and stuff like that. So let's try that, because I don't like what the header looks like right now, or I don't like the fact that it's using the default, WordPress footer or whatever, right? So let's start with that. You go to the dashboard, you go to Divi. There is something called the theme builder. Let's start with the global header. Okay. I'm just going to quickly, I am gonna just create the header right now. So the header is not going to really change because I'm not that keen on changing it right now. Or maybe we should. Maybe, nah, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna leave it like this, and then I'm gonna say, okay, look, I need a menu module. I know Divi, so you'll have to get used to the modules, but I mean, it already knows I only have one menu. It's the main menu. I can maybe, I don't know, do something crazy. Let's make the background black instead of white or something. I don't know. Let's make the menu elements, so like the menu text, let's make it white, for example. That's for the active link actually. So let's make the active link, I don't know, red, and then the text white. I'd guess. There we are. So now when the link is active, it will be another color and so on. I don't know why I would do that, but anyway, let's just, for the fun of it, do it. And let's make the background the same black as well. That looks like a too thick of a menu, right? So you can put your mouse over and you see the section. It has like a blue little thing. Divi sections have a default of like 54 pixels top and bottom, so you can fiddle these by dragging your mouse, right? Just to make it thinner because I don't want it that thick, right? And that's the header. You click X, tells you to save because you've got to save before, so you wait. Now let's build the footer. Let's just say the footer is going to have like 4 columns, and then I'm going to put stuff in it. The one thing is going to be an image, the other thing is going to be the other three are going to be just text modules. So all I do is I just hit this, I hit 4, which is what I want. I hit image. I'm not going to actually select an image right now because I don't really care. I'm just going to use text here. Yes, it already knows that I want the font from the previous text settings, which I've set globally. So let's just do something like, okay, menu 1. It's not really a menu, but you get the idea. So then I'm just going to say link 1. Then I could link it, but I'm not going to right now. You get the idea, right? 1, 2, 3, and I'm just gonna basically steal the same concept to do the other ones, and I'm just gonna like move them around. Oh, I clicked on the column, so it generated a new column for me. That was stupid of me. So I need 3 columns, and I guess I don't know. I want this to be, who knows? It should be black, but it should be black, so it's the same as the header, right? But let's just say for some reason I want it red. So yeah, the red would have it's not gonna work. Let's just make those white just because I can. So design, not the section settings. You see, it actually tells me where I am. I'm in the wrong place. So section settings. So let's make these white. And this is actually also another thing I wanted to show you. So let's say I made a mistake like I just did. Now I want the text to be white for some reason. Now I'm too lazy to go and do it in all my modules. So I just do a right click, copy module styles. I click on the cog again, right click, paste module styles. Oh, but did I do it wrong? So it's right click, copy module styles, left click, paste module styles. There you are, and paste module styles. Just because I just made one change now, and obviously I could have remembered that, but I may have made 100, and I wouldn't have remembered that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to exit it. I'm going to save and exit. And then, sorry for the noise if you're hearing anything, but I'm in a house, so things happen, I guess. So, okay, this is my new layout or whatever. I haven't saved the changes yet. I have to click Save Changes. It will say all changes saved. And then all you do is you go to Visit Site, and you should potentially see my new header, which was not the same as what it was before on my new footer, which is stupid, but you get the idea. Now, what I did want to show you about the theme builder is you can create new templates for specific, like you can say, okay, let's create a new template for every post we have. I don't think I have posts right now, but let's just create. It automatically picks up the global header and footer because it assumes that you want the same header and footer on the post. But let's see what we do to get the actual post content. So here's the difference. So again, it created our default section for us. You can see that by looking at the what's it called, the wireframe mode. But because I already know this, I automatically know what I'm looking for. So let's just say I want a row. The row will have an I don't know, a title. So there is a module called post title. It will automatically and dynamically add the title of a post in the font that I've chosen as my default font. And then you can decide, for example, that I don't want to show the meta, which is the date and all that. And also I don't want to show the featured image because I'm going to just show post content for now. So, and then you can obviously go in and you can say, okay, let's make the title centered. So it's got a title text here. Let's make it align center. Let me just get my bearings here, align center, there it is. And let's say I think that the title's too small, so I'll say, I don't know, 40, because I can, right? And then what do we need? We need the actual content of the post, right? So let's create another row, just one, and then there's a module called post content, and it will bring in text that your client has written into the post, and I can define settings for the headings and all that inside the post, which will be visible for all posts. So all it does is it grabs the title dynamically, I guess, and then the content is inside there. If for some reason I wanted, I don't know, to put the author's, let's say I want to put the, what do I want to put? Let's just say that I want to put the author's picture on the bottom of this, right? So let's say that I need to add the author's picture here. So I'm just going to use another row just because I feel like it. You don't have to, but I'm going to. Then I'm going to say, okay, let us try and add an image, correct? The thing is, we want this image to be sort of dynamic and also way smaller, but you get the idea, right? So instead of this, I'm just going to press the bin. If you noticed, I pressed the bin here. And then there's a little thing that's supposedly supposed to look like a database. I never understood why it doesn't look like a database, but it could go find my picture based on who is the author of the article. And then it can tell me because I'm logged in. And then I can say, okay, you know what? I want this to be centered. And maybe because I'm crazy, I want the image to look like a circle. So if you think outside the box a little bit, you can say border radius 25 px. Is that going to be enough? No, 50 actually px, I guess. 50 px will be more like a round image. So that's how the thing would be. And then you can also do dynamic stuff, like for example, I don't know, let's just say for some reason I want to show the date of the article next to this guy. So now I need to do something like, okay, I want to show the date. So let's just say that I want to do it like this. And for some reason I want to show the date. So now the text, I use text module, but I'm going to use dynamic data instead of the data that's inside it. So I delete the data, click the little box again, and I'm going to say, you know what? Post date, for example. So it should be the post publish date. And then I can also specify a before. So it would say like created on, and I'm putting spaces in so that it formats itself properly. Created on, for example. And it's giving me the date. I could probably change the date format to something else that I want. So just say August 6th, 19th, whatever. Doesn't really matter. I'm just showing you what you can do here. And then I don't like how it looks, so I'm just going to say, okay, you know what? Leave this as is. I'm going to switch rows again, so it's like this, and then just say this should be centered because why not, right? Design, text, and then you can center, yeah. And then I don't know, I could be stupid and say, okay, make the background of this, I don't know, some random gray. Some insane reason. And basically what will happen, it will give me the post title, whatever the post title is. It will give me the author's picture and the date that the post was published. And it will also say created on XYZ. And then it will give me the post content, for example. And all my posts will have the same design. It's the exact same idea as like in other builders we use templates. Remember as a note that when it says save changes, it means you haven't saved it. You actually have to click this and you have to make sure it says all changes have been saved. Otherwise, you won't see your changes reflected on the website. So let's see. If I go to all posts, there is one that says hello world. And if I view it, you know the hello world post in WordPress, right? It's just text, not a normal text. Now, if I view it, it should pick up my template. And there it is. That's all it is. I didn't say I should have sent it the text, I guess, for the post, but anyway, you get the point, hopefully. And then I want to show you that other than posts, you can do it for a lot of things. Pages, archive pages, product pages, author pages, search pages even. So search pages, 404 pages. Projects is a post type that Divi has by default as a theme. You can use it if you want, or you don't have to if you don't want to. So you can do a template for search results, for 404s, and for any other custom post type that you create, if you know what a custom post type is. But yeah, this is a quick and dirty way of showing you how to quickly get started with Divi. I hope it wasn't too overwhelming, and I hope that it helps someone out at the very least. Talk to you guys soon. If you have any comments, just let me know. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, you're welcome to give me any suggestions. If you don't, I'm sorry I bored you. That's about it. Talk to everyone soon. Bye bye.